Good evening, and we are live from the campus of Huntington High School for tonight's WVSSAC boys basketball matchup between the Huntington Highlanders and the St. Albans Red Dragons. With that, I'm Ben Anderson. Alongside me, John Boggess. Presentation of Kindred Sports Digital Network, presented by Marshall Orthopedics. The Red Dragons of St. Albans enter 0-1 on the year following a 63-60 loss against the Big Reds of Parkersburg. Huntington High, first game of the season. Of course, the Red Dragons now led by head coach Alan Osborne in his first season at the helm. The 700-plus wins. Here's a longtime head coach to the Polka Dots. 3 state titles at Polka. The Highlanders led by Lambros Zvingos. Highlanders 10-13 a year ago. Tipping off the season tonight, aiming to try to pick up a win against the St. Albans team that's hungry for a win after coming up short 63-60 against Parkersburg. As well, with that, we're going to step aside. When we come back, John and I will break down tonight's matchup as you're watching another presentation of Video Productions.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Become a member of Liuna and train to become a union construction worker.
I was greener than green coming into this. The trainers were amazing, and I told them, I don't know what I'm doing. And they were just super great about taking it slow and making sure I understood everything and got the book work before we did the hands-on so I could do the hands-on safely. It's going great. I got to get paid to do something that I enjoyed doing. I got to work with my hands and learn all kinds of new things. If you can be in a union, be in a union. They're going to take care of you. They're going to get you where you need to be.
Going out? Hungry? Have kids? Looking for a fun, casual joint? Then Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington is the place to be. Bring the kids 12 and under on Tuesdays, and they eat for just 99 cents all day long. That's right, an entree, 2 sides, and a drink for less than $1. Plus, Tuesday at Roosters means a featured appetizer all day for just $2. Roosters will lighten your mood and not your wallet. And you can always enjoy your favorite sports on Roosters 40 TVs. Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington, a fun, casual joint.
Trey, you've got to get it together.
No matter where you are in life, Mount West Community and Technical College, it's a step toward your future.
Trey, welcome to Mount West.
We provide the hands-on support you need with classes that fit your life.
Nice job, Trey.
At Mount West, we know you by name.
Trey Matthews.
Because here, you're more than just a number. Mount West Community and Technical College, because you matter here.
We welcome you from the campus of Huntington High School for tonight's matchup of boys basketball between the St. Albans Red Dragons and the Huntington Highlanders. That I'm Ben Anderson alongside me, my great colleague John Boggess. Well, John, Alan Osborne, longtime head coach of the Polka Dots, 3 state titles, 700-plus wins, nearly 40 years at the helm. He comes out of retirement to now lead the St. Albans Red Dragons team. So this should be a very interesting year for St. Albans, one of the best head coaches in the state of West Virginia leading the helm.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup for St. Albans overall. And with this pickup, they're bringing that championship mentality into this program. As someone that knows how to lead a team there, that's exactly something that you want from a coach. And with that experience, I expect St. Albans to have a pretty good season and be led very well going forward.
And then, of course, the Huntington Highlanders, led by Lambros Zvingos, playing for the Huntington High teams with former NBA stars O.J. Mayo and Patrick Patterson, part of the Dream Team that led to the 3 seed as the Class A state champion, Class AAA state champions from 2005 to 2007. The 3-peat and part of the Dream Team played at Geneva College. Now he's back leading the way for the Huntington Highlanders. Of course, this is the Highlanders team led by Tavion Wilson, who's now committed to play tight end at the University of Clemson.
Yeah, we got some known guys on this squad when it comes to coaching and the players that are ready to take their game to the next level. As with their coach, Lambros Savingos, he was on a team that won so many championships. He's got that championship mentality in him as well. And you have a guy like Tavion Wilson that is just, he's going to perform very well at the next level, already making that commitment to play football. And all the sports that he commits to, he's been known to be very good at what he does.
Well, John, kind of looking at who do you think is our players that fans should keep an eye out for here tonight? First starting at St. Albans.
Well, starting off with St. Albans, Brogan Sams, I mean, you almost got to give him the player to keep an ear out for. 31 points in his last game with St. Albans, where they fell to Parkersburg 63-60, but he had over half the points for St. Albans. That is a team leader right there. That's someone that you're going to want to keep an ear out for because you're probably going to hear his name a lot. But then moving over to the Huntington Highlanders side, I got to give it to Isaiah Lapsley. I mean, he's a known, very well good player on this team as well. He was on the MSAC second team. He's another guy you're probably expecting to be a leader, but, you know, there's a lot to learn from this game today as this is Huntington High's first game of the season. It's just a safe pick. Lapsley, probably someone you're going to hear.
And then your keys of the game for the Red Dragons and the Highlanders.
Well, St. Albans, they had a very strong offensive performance in their last game, so in this game they really need to focus on the defense and crack that down so that the high amount of offense they bring to the game can shine through. If they bring that defense, they might be in the right chance to get that win. And then moving on to Huntington, my key of the game for them is stop Brogan Sams. I mean, that's in the most recent game, that was the biggest threat to Parkersburg. Don't let him be your biggest threat tonight. Get this win tonight because you started last season with a 7-game losing streak. Start on a positive tonight.
Huntington High aiming to go 1-0 on the year. The Dragons trying to get his first win of the year. Well, that will step aside. We come back and be tip-off between the Red Dragons and the Highlanders as you're watching a presentation of high school boys basketball on the Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Mr. Cooper, we have an emergency at a middle school.
Thank you. Board office, will you activate the crisis team? This is not a drill.
In Cabell County Schools, we are ready, alert, and aware.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Planning for a funeral is never easy, and selecting the right mortuary can be important. Family owned and operated for over 6 decades, our family has helped other families going through the most difficult time. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory can help you plan arrangements today or offer a pre-need funeral plan in line with your intimate wishes. And now, we provide Huntington's only on-site crematory. Call us for a free consultation. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory, serving the tri-state for over 60 years.
Welcome back to the campus of Huntington High School. I'm Ben Anderson. Alongside me is John Bogus. As Huntington taking on St. Albans, Highlanders aiming for its first win of the year and trying to start the season 1-0. The Dragons trying to also pick up its first win of the year as we are still waiting the starting lineups here tonight between the Highlanders and the Dragons of St. Albans. As John, we got a battle of two teams trying to get its first wins of the season, and a very early on the season, Mountain State Athletic Conference matchup. This should be a very great contest. So as the starting line, first we have Zay Hall, a senior guard staying at 5'10", and then we have Chase Campbell, a sophomore forward staying at 6 foot tall. And then we have Brogan Sams, the junior guard, staying at 6 foot tall, 22 points per game, and the second team, all Kanawha Valley a year ago. And then we got Gabe Robley, and then well, I'm trying to find a fifth person in the starting five. John, it's pretty difficult at the moment, but and Braden Smith wraps up the starting five. He was hurt last year, but a big post guy to come back for the St. Albans Red Dragons, led by first-year head coach Alan Osborne. 700-plus wins at the helm 700-plus wins as a head coach, long-term head coach of the Polka Dots. 2 stints at Polka. Spent 44 seasons, 3 state titles. And then to start the lineup for the Huntington Highlanders, we have Pearson Daneka. And then we have Ethan Dalton, the senior guard, as well as the senior wearing number 5. Isaiah Lashley, John's player to keep an ear out for, is the third member of the starting 5 for the Huntington Highlanders. The senior wearing number 32. And then number 32, Max Bowen. Yeah, Max Bowen will be the 4th man. And then, last but not least, the 5th man will be the senior to the Clemson commit, Tavion Wilson. So it will be Zay Hall, Braden Smith, Brogan Sams, Gabe Robley, and Chance Campbell for the Red Dragons. And it'll be Pearson Daneka, Ethan Dalton, Isaiah Lupsley, Tavion Wilson, and Max Bowen for the Highlanders. Highlanders wearing the all-white uniforms with yellow stripes and Huntington written on the front. St. Albans wearing the all-red uniforms, white numbers with St. Albans written on the front. And it will be Braden Smith and Pearson Tavion Wilson to do jump ball for the Highlanders and the Dragons. Dragons left to right, Highlanders right to left as we are live from Huntington High School. I'm Ben Harris, alongside me John Boggs, and John, this should be a great one.
Yeah, it should be indeed. Both teams at a high caliber.
As the ball is tipped and we're underway, and it goes to the Highlanders, and we start things off here, and it'll be Lapsley with the ball. Lapsley guarded one-on-one by Hall. Looks like the Dragons will step in a man-to-man defense. Now gets back up to the top, over to Dalton. Dalton finds a guy on the left wing. That's Daneka. He pops it through. He bounces it off back on her. No good. Rebounded by Hall, and here come the Red Dragons.
It was a good look as Dalton became open, but overall just a little too far to the left on that shot.
First time we get to see the Red Dragons today on offense. Sands with a one-hand bounce pass over to Hall. Dumps it down to the far corner. Shot. No good. Left it short by Braden Smith and rebounded by Lapsley. Isaiah Lapsley gets it into the hands of Daneka, who drives all the way over the rim. Out of bounds will be Huntington High ball on the baseline. 7:14 to go in the first quarter. Still in a scoreless game between St. Albans and Huntington. And the inbound will be for Isaiah Lapsley. He is the MSAC second team. It's the Huntington High team. Started on a 7-game losing streak a year ago. First game of the season. Bowen gets it over to the top now to Daneka. Daneka to Dalton. Back up to the top to Lapsley. Lapsley setting up the offense. Lapsley goes left. He throws it to hands of Dalton. Dalton on the right block. Right side of the free throw line. Wilson. Far corner. Daneka. Now has it a left in the right wing. Lapsley finds it over to Dalton. Dalton thought about 3. Pops back up to the top. And Huntington High trying to get it going. Wilson all the way and does. Tavion Wilson with the first bucket of the game for the Highlanders. And the soon-to-be Clemson Tiger puts the Highlanders on the board. 2-0 here, 6:33 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, good choice to pass off to Wilson there as he was able to get the steps in to put the layup in, get this game started for some points for Huntington.
As Hall, pull-up shot, rolls in and out, but nearly rebounded by Smith. Can't hold on to it. Rebounded by the Highlanders. Deep pass to Lapsley, trying to go all the way. Reverse layup, good for Lapsley. He's got 2. That's 4-0 Highlanders. 6:08 to go here in quarter number 1. Highlanders, great job on the fast break.
Yeah, Lapsley so quick on that one, all the way down the court before any of his other teammates are down there. It's a no-brainer. Get that ball to him, and there he was to get those points.
Robley double team on the far corner, stolen away by the Highlanders. Bowen with the steal. Here comes Wilson. Wilson trying to go all the way, lays it up, no good. And it's last touch by the Highlanders be St. Albans ball. Smith able to crash in and get the good defense to keep Wilson from scoring.
Yeah, Wilson kind of had the tunnel there as he was able to get through with them, but overall at the basket guarded well and couldn't get it through.
As Huntington High have been really playing stifling defense and not really letting St. Albans get any offense going this far, John. As here's Dalton into the hands of Daneka. 3, good from the right wing. Nothing but money for Daneka.
Daneka, another pair.
So it's now 7-0 Highlanders. 5:10 to go in the first quarter, and St. Albans just can't get anything going. And blocked by Wilson, goes out of bounds, stays with the Red Dragons.
Yeah, Wilson had got something to get the block on that one. St. Albans looking like it was closing in on a good offensive go there.
And shot is good by Hall. It's 7-2 Huntington High, and Zay Hall finally gets the Red Dragons on the board. Lapsley tries up and down low to Bowen. Good through the double team. It's now 9-2 Highlanders, 4:35 to go here in the quarter number 1.
Yeah, Huntington's just had that ability to really close in under the basket and get a good shot in to get some points for itself here.
Sams, Hall, 3, splash for Hall. He's got 5. It's now 9-5, still in favor of the Highlanders. 4:11 to go in the first quarter. As Hall really stepping up offensively for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, Hall very open there, so obviously you have the opportunity to take the 3 there.
Bowen on the left side of the free throw line. He gets it back over to Daneka. As Wilson trying to drive all the way and does. Give him 4. It's now 11-5 Huntington. 3:45 to go here in quarter number 1.
Huntington, especially Wilson, I mean, they just haven't seen a lot of pressure when they've been heavily contested. They've been finding ways to get it through the basket, even at those moments.
As Hall is trying to drive baseline, but steps out of bounds. It'll be Huntington High ball. But, yeah, Daneka with 3. Wilson has 4 for the Highlanders, and then Hall has all 5 for St. Albans, a team that scored 60 points per game a year ago, finishing 6th in the Mountain State Athletic Conference. As now, Lapsley bring the ball forward, obviously calling for the offense. And he's guarded closely by Hall. He tries to go left off the screen. He has an open lane, decides to take the shot. No good. Rebounded by Bowen. Top. Dalton, 3. Money for Isaiah for Ethan Dalton. And it's now 14-5 in favor of the Highlanders.
Yeah, Max Ballren, a really tall player on this team. Smart player to get there to try and grab the rebound. He got it out to Dalton that was wide open. Easy to get the
And just like that, Brogan Sams answers back with the 3 ball of his own. John's player to keep it in for 22 points per game a year ago, and he splashes a 3 to answer right back. It's a 6-point game here, 2:36 to go in the opening quarter. And Dalton out to Lapsley. Lapsley trying to cross his way. Step back, 3. You bet. Lapsley, he's got 5. It's now 17-8 in favor of Huntington.
Yeah, and there's a lot of confidence in that young man to take that shot. He was a little bit contested, but nonetheless, it was a perfect shot for that 3.
St. Albans just trying to answer here. Sams, he gets the underhanded pass. That's a 3 for the from the near side. No good. Rebounded by Wilson. Wilson, deep pass, trying to go for Daneka. Over his head, out of bounds. St. Albans ball.
Daneka has had so many opportunities there where he's just been able to break free of the defenders and really get open. And that was an opportunity there where he could have really put up a strong play, but overall, Wilson's pass didn't meet him. But nonetheless, you try and get to your man when he's open.
Minute 50 to go here in quarter number 1. It is Huntington 17, St. Albans 8. Robley, he's on the left elbow, finds it over to Hall. Hall bounce pass to Smith. Smith shot, bounce off the back line, rebounded by Bowen. And Dalton Into hands of Daneka. He's thinking of trying to do something here. He gets the one-handed pass over to Bowen. Bowen over to Wilson. Well, instead over to Bowen. Put back, no good. Tipped by Wilson out of bounds. St. Albans ball. And Braxton Mount checks in the game for Max Bowen. So St. Albans just trying to get back into this game, trying to make this a single-digit deficit. Campbell back up to top of the hall, guarded closely by Hannah. So now we have it over to Robley. Robley at the top. Great defense by the Highlanders, though. Sands, pull-up shot. Near corner, no good. Rebounded by Hannah. And Highlanders moving fast. Dalton trying to go all the way. Bounce up back the glass, but it's going to be a goaltending call. And so that will count the bucket. So Dalton will be credited with the points. Ditching the goaltending call as the defender slapped the backboard after the ball was already up.
Yeah, St. Albans got to be cautious of those mistakes as you're already down in the game. You don't want to rack up too many mistakes like that going forward in this game.
28 seconds left here in quarter number one. Sams, he gets over to the left side to Robley. Robley bounce pass to Hall. Hall, step back, trying to slice and dice here. Campbell nearly drops the pass. And instead he hands off to Robley. Robley to Hall. Three from the far corner. No good. Rebound by Chavion Wilson. Wilson's got open lane. Wilson throws it down with a two-hand jam. He's got 6. And that's the end of the first quarter. Our score, Huntington 21, St. Albans 8. We'll step aside. We come back second quarter action on Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Food Fair, you can count on our local delis to have fresh and delicious options always available, like our best-in-town fried chicken. Stop by one of our convenient locations to get this weekly deli special while you're at it. Food Fair, conveniently fresh.
Cabell County Schools has a zero-tolerance policy for bullying, harassment, and intimidation. We're excited to provide the Stop It mobile app for our students. Stop It has 2 powerful features. Students may report incidents or talk directly to school officials. Cabell County students have the power to end harmful and inappropriate online or physical bullying. You can download the app from Apple or Google Play. Together, we can create a safer, kinder school community.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome back here from the campus of Huntington High School. I'm Ben Harris alongside me, John Bogus. Huntington High leads 21-8 going to the second quarter. John, what have you seen out of the Highlanders that has led to the success?
Well, the Highlanders, I think they just have all their guys right on the right place of the court on where they need to be. They got their tall guys. They're capable of getting the rebound, and there's just been so many instances where they've just been in the perfect place. In that most recent play that we saw, Wilson was able to break away at the right time and gain some momentum for Huntington High that they can carry into this second quarter. And overall, they're being smart with the plays and taking risks.
Quarter number 2 underway. Robley. He gets it into the hands of Samples. Samples back up to top to Brogan Sands. St. Albans really having to try to dig itself out of a large deficit here in quarter number 2. And a legal screen called against Sands. And that is the first foul called of the game against either team. So neither team called for any fouls in the first quarter. And it took to the second quarter for someone to be called for a foul. So very clean game of basketball here early on, John. 7:35 to go in quarter number 2. It's Huntington High, 21, St. Albans, 8. Lapsley lobs over to Wilson. Wilson, skip pass over to Daneka, deep 3. No. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. St. Albans ball. Last touch by Bowen.
the range on Daneka is really good. I mean, that was just a beautifully placed high-up ball, and just didn't make it, but he's got a lot of range.
Yeah, he's got a lot of range. There's a little too much mustard on that shot, but I do agree with you, John. A lot of range for the kid. Samples. He's going close by Lapsley. Fires a quick bull pass over to Brogan Sams, trying to create some space. Holds up a three. Got it. Sams, he's got 6. And St. Albans now in double digits. It's now only a 10-point game.
That's exactly where you want to start in this quarter. Start strong.
Wilson goes all the way. No charge called against Tavion Wilson. Went right through the body of the defender. Richie Love was thought to be an and one. Ended up being a charge. So Hall brings the ball up the floor for the Highlanders. Hall rolls off the screen. Hall. He gets over to Sam. Sam's trying to drive all the way in the baseline. Reverse layup. Got it to fall. Sam's, he has 8 for the Dragons. Dragons on a quick 5-0 scoring run here to start quarter number 2. Lapsley just trying to set things up. Lapsley into the hands of Dalton. Dalton down to Wilson. Wilson double team. Back up to Dalton. Dalton to Bowen. Bowen, underhand pass to Daneka. He pops a 3. Left it short, and Tavion Wilson with the putback. He's got 8.
That's just another area where Huntington's been strong today, is grabbing the rebound, and those have been critical to get points for them so far.
As St. Albans wants to get back in this game, it's got to find a better way to shut down Huntington High on the boards. Hall. And goes out of bounds. Huntington High ball. And Alan Osborne not too pleased with the way his Dragons played on that last possession, as he brings a man to substitution. Today will be Blake Hermansdorfer. Hermansdorfer checks in the game for Chance Campbell. Hermansdorfer staying at 5'10", the junior guard. Lapsley brings the ball up the floor. Huntington High trying to step a play here. Looks like St. Albans has switched more to a 2-3, John. So the man-to-man. 3 no good. Bowen, Lapsley, he pops the 3 of his own, rolls in and out. And before it tipped around a little bit, fine being secured by the Dragons. And a steal layup by the Neka is good, and he's got 5.
What St. Albans was trying to get that, not let Huntington rebound. They had to get so hard to get that ball that they just did not have the best control of it, allowing Daneka to get the quick steal and the points.
And the shot on the other end is good. As Sams, he is now in double digits with 10, the first player on either team to score double digits. Timeout, Huntington. It'll be a full timeout, 4:51 to go. We'll step aside on the Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Become a member of LIUNA and train to become a union construction worker.
I never knew anything about the union. A friend gave me the application to be an apprentice. When you come to the center, you're getting paid while you learn. They expect for you to come in green. They start from the bottom and they build everybody up to a certain level. I really think it's a good opportunity for somebody, especially if you're young. The union is a place that can help you start your career, start your life, give you a little direction to where you want to go, and you can build off of that.
Welcome back to Huntington High School, home of the Highlanders. Highlanders lead 25-15. The Red Dragons are on a 6-4 scoring run to start the second quarter. Forgot how to do math there for a quick second, John, but either way, 6-4 scoring run for the Red Dragons, and it's showing a little bit of life here in this second quarter.
Oh, for sure, and I mean, that's an important way to start off this quarter is You got outplayed in the first quarter. You need to come in strong and outplay your opponent in this quarter.
So it will be Dalton to inbound. Inbounds it over to Lapsley. St. Albans switching to a 1-4. Interesting. Lapsley, he goes to the right side. Now to the top to Dalton. He finds out to Daneka, who is trying to cross all the way to the baseline, but having to swing it back around to the other side. Lapsley trying to roll right off left off the screen. Dalton drives near baseline. Back up top to Daneka, who gets it over to Lapsley. Lapsley just trying to get something here going. Dalton up to the top to Wilson. Wilson into the hands of Daneka. Back to Wilson. Wilson trying to drive all the way. Jumps it down low to Bowen, who gets the layup to fall. Bowen has 4.
Wilson did some good work really driving the ball into the center there. Bowen just right under that basket ready for the layup.
27-15 Highlanders. Hall. Trying to dance way around. Sams, he pops a 3. And he is fouled on the way up, so Brogan Sams will shoot not 1, not 2, but 3 free throws. And a foul is called on Dalton. That's his first, team second. So 1 foul on called against the Red Dragons, 2 against the Highlanders, 3:36 to go, and Brogan Sams, his first free throw, good. He now has 11, and he shoots 2 more. Huntington, next game will be at the next 3 games at the Carolina Invitational. Second free throw also good for Sams. The Red Dragons will host rival Nitro. And the team's next game is free throw to cut the deficit to single digits for the Red Dragons. And he converts all 3 free throws. He has 13. It's now 27-18. Still in favor of Huntington, 3:33 to go until we reach halftime. Lapsley, Daneka, 3. No, rebounded by Bowen. Lapsley trying to drive all the way, floater. Gets the lucky bounce to fall, and he's got 7.
And that's once again where the rebound really helped out there and how strong Bowen has been at getting those rebounds tonight. They were able to get another shot at that, and they found the right place in Lapsley to get that done.
And Hall was tripped trying to drive, and the foul is going to be called on Lapsley, his first, team third. And we have a substitution being made. Gabe Robley checks in the game for Garrett Samples. So Zay Hall gets the inbound, 14 points per game last season. MSAC special honorable mention. He has to pick up his dribble. He gets bounce pass to the free throw line to Campbell. Campbell lost the ball, stolen away by the Highlanders. Here comes Tavion Wilson. Spin. Jumps down low to Daneka, but he has to get back up to the top to Lapsley. Huntington High nearly had a fast break opportunity, but a little bit of missed ball handling forced him out to slow things down. Lapsley, pull up, shot, money for Lapsley. He has 9. It's now 31-18, and just as St. Albans and timeout, St. Albans, and just as they got it into single digits, Huntington High answers right back. As it'll be a full timeout, so that will step aside on the Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Become a member of Liuna and train to become a union construction worker.
I never knew anything about the union. A friend gave me the application of the apprentice. When you come to the center, you're getting paid while you learn. They expect for you to come in green. They start from the bottom and they build everybody up to a certain level. I really think it's a good opportunity for somebody, especially if you're young. The Union is a place that can help you start your career, start your life, give you a little direction to where you want to go, and you can build off of that.
Welcome back. Huntington High 31, St. Albans 18. Well, in a span of 2.5 minutes, Huntington High outscores St. Albans 6-3, forcing Alan Osborne to call a timeout, and he did not seem that happy when calling the timeout, John.
Yeah, St. Albans certainly came in with some momentum. Huntington was starting to steal it back. You got to pause that momentum and take that timeout. I think it was a smart play by Osborne there for sure.
Brogan Slams leading the way for the Red Dragons. He has 13, leading the way for the Highlanders as Lapsley with 9. Sams over to Hall. Hall on the left side. Hall bounce pass. That's going to be over to Robley. Back to Hall. Back to Robley. He's going to pop an open three. You bet.
Well, Huntington
Robley with his first bucket.
Huntington has defended St. Albans so well tonight. That's one of the first times I've seen St. Albans truly have a wide open shot like that. Robley with all the space in the world to get that one in.
30-second timeout. We'll keep it here for this one. It's now a 10-point game, but Huntington High immediately calls timeout after that open three, but Robley letting it fly. And that's what I've been impressed with this Red Dragons team, is how it's been able to really shoot outside as it's originally trying to tack down low to start the game, but realizing that if it wants to beat this Highlanders team, it has to be able to shoot outside the perimeter.
Yeah, there is some big men on this Huntington team, and they are really keeping the inside locked down. So that's where the outside becomes so vital, and why it is important to hit those shots is, you know, it's not always they've come up with the stops inside. So see what you can get done on the outside.
Oh, 2 minutes to go until we reach halftime. Can St. Albans kind of come back and make this an easy deficit to come out of in the second half? Or possibly tie the game? Dalton. Now, he got it into the hands of Hannah. To Wilson, to Dalton. Skip pass to Hannah. Hannah to Wilson. Wilson, Hannah, deep corner three. You bet! Hannah hits the trifecta, and it's 34-21 in favor of the Highlanders. A minute 26 to go until we reach halftime. Hall, bounce pass. Gets over to Smith. Smith, shot, left elbow, short, rebound by Wilson. Tavion Wilson finds over to Dalton. Dalton, Lapsley, three, left side. Splash for Lapsley, and he's got 12, 36, 21. Just every time when St. Albans comes in, the Highlanders slay the Dragon.
Lapsley just been so smart with his plays and finding that ability to get open.
Which at this point it looks like Sam's forcing that three-point shot. It goes out of bounds as Sam's nearly crashes into three fans going for the ball. And it'll still be a Huntington Highlander ball. And Huntington High just says, hey, let's go for one shot here. Which is kind of smart. You're under 40 seconds to go. You're up by 16. Might as well just go for one shot here. As Dalton is guarded closely, he has to get into the hands of Hannah. So John will be interested to see what kind of shot you try to get here at 25 seconds with no shot clock.
Yeah, if you can hang on to this one, it's certainly one of those ones where you take your time and you find the right shot to make to bring that lead even higher going into the half.
So that's the advantage at the high school level. You could be able to do such a thing. Lapsley gets over to Wilson. Wilson's going to drop his shoulder, actually gets over to Bowen. Shot left it short, and that is halftime. So the score at the half, it is the Huntington Highlanders 37, St. Albans 21. We'll step aside, and when we come back, John and I will break down the first half here on the Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Going out? Hungry? Have kids? Looking for a fun, casual joint? Then Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington is the place to be. Bring the kids 12 and under on Tuesdays, and they eat for just 99 cents all day long. That's right, an entree, 2 sides, and a drink for less than $1. Plus, Tuesday at Roosters means a featured appetizer all day for just $2. Roosters will lighten your mood and not your wallet. And you can always enjoy your favorite sports on Roosters 40 TVs. Roosters at Pullman Square in Huntington, a fun, casual joint.
Mr. Cooper, we have an emergency at a middle school.
Thank you. Board office, will you activate the crisis team? This is not a drill.
Cabell County Schools, we are ready, alert, and aware.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Of Huntington High School. It is halftime. Our score, Huntington 37, St. Albans 21. I'm Ben Anderson, alongside me, John Bogus. Well, John, this is a St. Albans team that lacks the size against the Highlanders, and that has shown here in the first half, as we were talking about that during the break.
Absolutely. I mean, Bowren, not quite sure what his height is, but nonetheless, he is one of the tallest players on the court right now, and he's become a rebound machine. It's like if he is under the basket, he is almost always capable of grabbing that rebound. Tavion Wilson as well, he's also been grabbing the rebounds. It's just that has been a big difference maker here, is Huntington hasn't always been perfect on the first shot, but they've always been able to capitalize on the second or the third shot because of how often they're rebounding.
Yeah, and then another thing was St. Albans originally trying to go down low, then realized it has a disadvantage trying to attack down low. And then it's trying to get a three-point shot going, but the problem is it hasn't really been able to get that three-point shot going because of the stifling defense of the Highlanders. It tried to get them to, hey, come at me inside, and now it's bringing that pressure outside. So great adjustments overall by Lambros Zavingo's squad.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure, and St. Albans is feeling it. They have realized that they're doing their best on the outside, and with the deficit they have, I'm sure they're really wanting those threes as often as they can get them. And when they're being boxed almost and forced to be on the outside, I mean, it's the shot you got to take. And overall, Huntington just bringing the defense, really doing a good job of making it difficult for St. Albans to get the points through a layup. They're making them get it the hard way.
Leading the way for the Highlanders is Isaiah Lapsley. He has 12. Leading the way for the Red Dragons is Brogan Sams, also with 13 points. Only 3 fouls committed by the Highlanders, 1 committed by the Red Dragons in the first half, but an overall clean game by both teams, despite how physical this game has been. Really surprising the very low amount of fouls called, only 4 fouls combined.
Yeah, clean game for sure, and as you were talking about with Isaiah Lapsley, I mean, he's been a really strong player today on the court, as he's just seamlessly been able to get shots. I mean, almost every time he shoots, I'm imagining like on 2K when the green meter goes all the way full, he's just shooting them, and he's open, and he's getting them in with precision. Overall, I would say Lapsley he's been a shot merchant today, and overall, I'm very happy with both of the picks I made for player to keep an ear out for, because Lapsley, if Bowen isn't getting the rebound under, Lapsley is getting it on the outside. And as for St. Albans, Sam's definitely a strong player on the court as well. He's been helping St. Albans stay in this one.
Of course, now, if you're the Highlanders and the Red Dragons, John, what do you do here in the second half?
If I'm the Dragons, obviously they need to see what they can do to try and push into the inside, as right now it's just been difficult for them to rely on the outside all the time. I mean, I know sometimes that the size disadvantage can hurt, but just start trying to push inch your way in, and see what you can get. Start taking shots from everywhere on the court and tighten up that defense. I know the Huntington Highlanders are quick, but you can't let them just break away, because a lot of the points the Highlanders got were breakaways as they just took down off the court. A notable play for sure in that first half, Tavion Wilson, that dunk, as he was just able to break away and get down the court as fast as he could to make sure that shot was going to go in. For the Huntington Highlanders, just keep it going. Do what you did in the first half. Be quick on the ball, be ready to grab the rebound, and get those points no matter where you're shooting on the court. If you can beat St. Albans' offense once again in this quarter, that's all you need to do. The defense still needs to appear, but the important thing is continue on as the best offense in this game so far.
Well, we're going to step aside, and we come back. It'll be second half action here from Huntington High School. You're watching Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Cabell County Schools has a zero-tolerance policy for bullying, harassment, and intimidation. We're excited to provide the Stop It mobile app for our students. Stop It has two powerful features. Students may report incidents or talk directly to school officials. Cabell County students have the power to end harmful and inappropriate online or physical bullying. You can download the app from Apple or Google Play. Together, we can create a safer, kinder school community.
At Food Fair, you can count on our local delis to have fresh and delicious options always available, like our best-in-town fried chicken. Stop by one of our convenient locations to get this weekly deli special while you're at it. Food Fair, conveniently fresh.
No matter where you are in life, Mount West Community and Technical College isn't just about an education. It's a step toward your future. We provide the hands-on support you need.
Jessica, welcome to Mount West.
With classes that fit your life.
Jessica?
At Mount West, we know you by name, because here, you're more than just a number.
Jessica Bailey.
Mount West Community and Technical College, because you matter here.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Enjoy all the big games with a delicious and fresh party tray from your local food fair. Score big with a meat and cheese or veggie tray. Get a first down with a chicken salad croissant tray. Or bring home the win with a variety of wing trays. Food fair, conveniently fresh.
Welcome back to the campus of Huntington High School. Highlanders taking on the Red Dragons of St. Albans. With that, I'm Ben Anderson alongside me, John Bogus. As Huntington leads 37-21 going into quarter number 3. We're about a minute away from second half action. Both teams trying to regroup, and both teams trying to also aim for his first win of the season. Red Dragons 0-1. Huntington High aiming to try to start 1-0, which for Huntington High team, it would really be great to start 1-0. So this was a team that started last season on a 7-game skid.
Yeah, I mean, this Huntington almost always has a great squad, and I'm sure that 7-game skid was rough to start off the season last year because of the prestige that this high school has, and to really get off on the right foot this year will truly show what Huntington has to offer this season. St. Albans, by no means. St. Albans, a very good team, and they have a very good coach, so this is going to be an impressive win if Huntington pulls it off today.
As St. Albans, 18 different opponents for this Red Dragons team. Of course, last season advancing all the way to the regional championship before falling to George Washington, 48-38. As we are ready for second half action here from the campus of Huntington High School in Huntington, West Virginia. I'm Ben Anderson, alongside me, John Bogus. As it will be Highlander ball to start third quarter action. So the Highlanders trying to continue on its success with a 16-point lead as Dalton gets it on the right side. Dalton into the hands of Lapsley. Lapsley bringing it back all the way around. Lapsley now finds it into the hands of Dalton. Dalton. He gets it over to Wilson. Dalton now to Lapsley. Lapsley just trying to bring the ball all the way back around. It's like a merry-go-round, John. As it goes one way, then all the way to the other. Daneka, pull up. Left it short before it falls into the hands of Hall. Dalton tried to go for the rebound, but Hall made him spin around like a top. And now gets over to Robley. Layup is good for Robley as he now has 5. It's 37-23, still in favor of Huntington.
Finally, an opportunity to shoot inside for St. Albans, as that one is a pretty good layup jumper to start off this quarter.
And just great fast break by the Red Dragons team. Early on, Tavion Wilson spin, tries to get the shot. No, but he had the line to shoot 2. Couldn't tell if he's trying to get for more of the layup. I think he originally was thinking about the dunk, John, then realized I got to go for the layup. Either way, foul's going to be called on Smith. That'll be his team first of the quarter.
Yeah, just not enough space for the dunk there, so I see why there was the transition to the layup. Nonetheless, Wilson is going to get 3 here for that attempt.
Don't you mean 2 for the attempt?
Excuse me, 2. I got confused by St. Albans getting 3 on their foul.
hey, you're good, buddy. You're good. Hey, he was trying to rub the rust off, John. It's been a while since you've done basketball.
That is true.
Second free throw also good. So it's now 39-23 in favor of Huntington High. Wilson in double digits with 10, and Huntington High running a 1-2-2 full court press. Sams gets out the nearly triple team, has to bounce it over to Robley. Robley, ball is loose, bodies hit the floor, and it's Huntington High ball. Dalton with the ball. Dalton has to pick up his dribble. Skips over to Daneka. Daneka now to Dalton. Dalton, near corner 3, no good. Rebound by Lapsley. He thought about 3. He's trying to spin around. Wilson, 3 from the top of the key. Splash for Tavion Wilson, and he has 13. 42-23, and the Highlanders up by 19. It's the largest lead of the game.
That really just shows the talents of Tavion Wilson as an all-around player. He's been shooting mostly on the inside, grabbing rebounds, but showing that ability to shoot from all parts of the court with that outside 3.
Hall guarded closely by Lapsley. Gets it into the hands of Sams. Sams now to Hall. Hall trying to roll left off screen, set by Campbell. He pulls up a shot, left it short on the left side. Rebounded by Robley. Sams, 3. No. Bounces into the hands of Daneka, and here come the Highlanders. Dalton. Back at the top to Lapsley, and Huntington High looking like it's slowly bringing out the bench. Trying to lob it over to Wilson, stolen away by Hall. Here comes the Dragons on the fast break, no good. Rebounded by Bowren as Smith jumping over the back of Bowren. That'll be his second foul. As 3 substitutions being made, it'll be Nate Hanna, Braxton Mounts, and Yee Owens, Kennedy. Yeah, Ty Owens, a candidate, checking in for Bowren. Wilson Lapsley.
We got to see a little bit of Owens Kennedy earlier when we watched some of the JV game. So now Owens Kennedy in to put in some double work.
And Kennedy, he had a great game in that JV game, John. I was really impressed with his performance.
Yeah, if I was going to call a player of the game for that game, probably would be Owens Kennedy.
And I don't blame you. That would have been a great choice, John. Dalton now into the hands of Owens Kennedy. Trying to get it to Dalton. Dalton is running out of bounds. Was able to save it. As you have a Red Dragon at the scorer's table, trying to substitute at the next dead ball. Dalton, left side of Owens Kennedy. Now we get it to Dalton. Dalton trying to drive all the way. And it's fouled on the way up, and he'll head the line to shoot 2. Waiting on confirmation who the foul is going to be on. It's going to be on number 2, Braden Smith, and that is his third foul of the quarter. He was really disciplined in that first half, but 3 quick fouls here in the third quarter. And at the scores table, standing right in front of me, is Elijah Bass. It'll be the first time we see him check in the game today, as Dalton's first free throw is good. Bass checks in for Chance Campbell, which is really surprising, John, for Allen Osborne to keep Smith in the game with 3 fouls in this third quarter. But he knows he's got to have one of his best players on the floor if he wants a chance to win this game. And it's now a 21-point lead, largely of the game for the Highlanders, as Dalton has 7. He goes 2 for 2 from the cherry stripe, and the Highlanders starting to bring a little bit of a press. Gabe Robley now with the ball. Dragons just trying to avoid starting the season 0-2. He has to get over and push called against the Dragons. Foul was on Zay Hall. Didn't really see what happened, but I guess he shut the player down low as Garrett Samples checks in for him.
Overall, Huntington, I mean, the defense they brought on that play, I mean, they were holding St. Albans tight as they usually do.
Well, this is a very, very talented Huntington High team, John. It'll be very great to see how they do in the Mountain State Athletic Conference this season, as both players fighting for the ball, goes out of bounds, but possession will go to the visitors of St. Albans. And St. Albans as well, it looks like this is still a talented team. It's just kind of getting overpowered by the Huntington Highlanders tonight.
Yeah, St. Albans definitely still an impressive squad. It'll be good to see what they do in the remainder of the season, and there's still time. There's plenty of time to keep going in this one.
Shot and one for Brogan Sands. Now he heads to the line, the chance at the three-point play. Just what a play by Brogan Sands, getting the and one.
Yeah, Brogan Sam's certainly a leader for this squad, and he's someone that you got to trust in if you're trying to turn this around.
As the foul was called on. Well, wasn't able to really get who the foul was on, but either way, the free throw is good for Sams. He has 16. It's really hard to tell if he was saying 3-0 would give me a different number, but Lapsley slicing nicely his way down low. He's cooking with 14. And it's now back to a 20-point game.
Yeah, Lapsley, short stint on getting a rest, but getting right back into the game and putting up the points as he did in the first half.
And a reach-in foul going to be called against Hannah. Yeah, St. Albans' next game will be at home on the 23rd against rival Nitro, before it will travel all the way to Morgantown on the 30th and then going to Preston High School on the last day of the year before starting the new year on the road against GW. And a shot by Smith, no good, but Smith will head the line to shoot 2. Trying to fight through the contact on Bowen. Bowen's first, team third of the quarter. It's 46-26. Smith to shoot 2 free throws. His first free throw, no good. Smith was hurt last season, but back this season for the Red Dragons. St. Albans 12-12 a year ago, 4-5 in league play, and his second free throw is good. Smith has his first point of the game. Yes, it's now only a 19-point game. Wilson he finds a wide open man. That's Hannah! Money for Hannah, and he has 6 as he hits down the triple.
Wilson did a good job of taking the attention off Hannah there, looking like he was going for the layup.
That's now through the other end by Robley. Rebounded, no good, but actually rebounded by Bass. Bass into the hands of Robley. Pull up, shot blocked by Wilson. Wilson, he's got the rim at his sight. Lays it up with the finger roll, and he's got 15. And the block going coast to coast on the other end. It's 51-27 in favor of the Highlanders. What a play by Tavion Wilson, John.
Yeah, just another breakaway. That's something Wilson has been able to use to his advantage today. And when gets loose, it's hard to stop when he's going to put it up.
Sam shot no good, but Smith with the putback, he has 3. As Huntington High is kind of really doing whatever it wants to do. Pass goes over the head of Hannah, goes out of bounds. St. Albans ball. Hall and Hermansdorfer checking the game for Samples and Brogan Sams. As Brogan Sams getting a breather. But I was mentioning, Huntington High really just doing a great job offensively, mixing up, tacking down low, getting outside. But also Tavion Wilson doing a great job of distributing the rock. And a near steal attempt by Hannah, but somehow Hermansdorfer is able to hold on to it. Hall, guarded close by Lapsley. He gets the switch. He pops the three. He knew he left it short. Rebound, actually, Wilson somehow nearly running into the bench, was able to tip it. And the shot and layup good by Lapsley. What a series of events. It's 53-29. And this is the Highlanders team that loves run up and down the floor, which is a type of basketball style I love, John. I love teams that's able to run up and down the floor, as there'll be a turnover for St. Albans, and that's kind of what you have to do in this day and age of basketball. Hey, the run and gun, which is kind of what Marshall, the Thundering Herd do on the men's side. It's more the run and gun offense and very physical on defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're quick. And St. Albans, they have their speed too. And I mean, I think it's important. You want to get to the basket quick. You want to get the points up. You want to get on to your next opportunity.
Hannah, deep three, left side. And it goes over the backboard. It'll be St. Albans' ball. Well, talking about Thundering Herd in action tomorrow against the Troy Trojans at 2 p.m. That game will be broadcast on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. Hall bringing the ball up the floor. Tries to roll right off the screen. Hall trying to get past Hannah. Hermansdorfer has to pick up the dribble. Back up to Hall. Hall. One-handed pass over to Smith. Shot from the right elbow. Left it short. Rebounded by Daneka. Daneka into the hands of Hannah. Nate Hannah, the senior, with the ball. Highlanders trying to hold for one shot. Lapsley. Guarded closely by Hall. Into the hands of Hannah. 13 seconds left. Got to get the screen. Lapsley. 7 seconds. Huntington High's got to get a shot off here. Lapsley nearly lost the ball. Lapsley puts up a prayer. Bounces off the rim, and Bowen bodies hit the floor, and that's the end of the quarter. So the end of three, it is Huntington High 53, St. Albans 29. We'll step aside, come back fourth quarter action right here on the Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Mr. Cooper, we have an emergency at a middle school.
Thank you. Board office, will you activate the crisis team? This is not a drill.
In Cabell County Schools, we are ready, alert, and aware.
Fourth quarter action from the campus of Huntington High School. I'm Ben Anderson alongside me, John Bogus. Huntington High 53, St. Albans 29, and this has just been an absolute dominant game for the Highlanders, only holding the Red Dragons to 8 points in that third quarter, and overall just being able to pour the buckets here in this one. It kind of is doing whatever it wants to do against a St. Albans team that is very young, only 2 seniors on this roster. As St. Albans looks like it kind of has a little bit more of those growing pains that it's going through under first-year coach Alan Osborne, but the Highlanders look like it's ready to take this Mountain State Athletic Conference by storm this year, the way it's playing tonight. Hall takes up his dribble, bounce pass over to Brogan Sands, puts up a three, man, his face, air ball, no good, rebounded by Wilson. Wilson and chance to Daneka, to Dalton. Dalton goes all the way and fouled on the way up. Shot no good. He has the line to shoot 2. This will be his third and fourth free throw attempts. Foul is on number 20, Robley, Gabe Robley. His first, team first here in the fourth quarter. Ethan Dalton, the senior guard, will shoot 2. He's 2 for 2 on the night, and he misses the first one. Actually giving the old broadcaster's jinx.
Happens at least once.
Yeah, it always has to happen at least once. Dalton, second free throw. Rolls in and out, no good, and he's 0 for 2 from the line. Then it goes out of bounds. Possession will go to the Red Dragons of St. Albans. St. Albans, after playing Nitro on the 23rd, will not return back home until the 9th when it takes on the Knights at Cabell Midland. Hall into the hands of Brogan Sands. This is the only home game in the month of December for the Highlanders, as they'll play the next 4 games to end the month, and timeout St. Albans for the end of the month at the Carolina Invitational. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here before starting the new year on the road against Woodsboro Wilson, before returning home on the 6th against Parkersburg South. The game that, John, my friend, we'll be back for that one, for the next home game against the Parkersburg South Patriots on January 6th.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to be back for. Huntington has played a fun game tonight, and it'll be great to have another opportunity.
Yeah, it would be great to have another opportunity. Let's see, Huntington not playing a lot of home games, because it also has 21st against Hurricane on January, then the 24th against Chapmanville, 27th against Parkersburg, February 10th against G-Dub or George Washington, and then 24th with, the 24th at Charleston Catholic, but not a lot of home games on the schedule for this Huntington High squad. And also ends the season at home on the 28th against Westside. So bounce pass now to Robley as we are back from the 30-second timeout. Robley trying to drive baseline on the far side. Stolen away. Here comes Daneka. Daneka lays up and in. He goes coast to coast, and he has 7.
So far, Huntington High keeping up with what I thought it should do in this game, and that's just keep doing what it did in the first half. It's still breaking away.
Stolen away by Daneka. Daneka, bounce pass behind his back. Over to Stewart. Shot no good. Rebounded by Daneka. His shot's no good. And then Bowen gets the board, and he is fouled down low. And the foul is going to be called on number 11, Brogan Sands. 2 substitutions being made. It'll be Bass and Samples checking in the game for Campbell and well, couldn't really see who the second substitution was, but Owens Kennedy in the game for the Highlanders. Owens Kennedy actually was shot by Wilson, and he is fouled on the way up. So he will head to the line to shoot 2. Foul is called on Smith. That'll be his 4th. So Tavion Wilson, who 2 for 2 from the line, he has 15 points. Second leading scorer for the Highlanders, just behind Lapsley, who has 16. Now he's tied with Lapsley for 16. 3 for 3 from the charity stripe for him. Committed to play tight end at Clemson come next football season. What's the starting quarterback this year for the Huntington Highlanders? Second free throw rolls in and out, no good. And Wilson with the putback, and he's got 18.
Just sneakily got right there at the right time to put that layup up. Wilson might have not got the free throw, but he got 2 points instead.
Samples, floater, rolls in and out. Foul rebounded by Bass. And foul called on the floor down low. It's going to be on number 35, Ty Owens Kennedy. So Owens Kennedy with the foul. Trying to get a deep inbound over to Smith. Smith, pull-up shot, and I'm not sure that was tipped by Wilson or just missed it. Hard to tell on that one. But Wilson has the ball. Tavion Wilson trying to go all the way. Too much power. Rebounded by the Red Dragons. And it's a turnover. Wilson can't get the pass. Goes over his head. Out of bounds, but Wilson knew he had the dunk opportunity, but the pass just went over his head. As I mentioned, he played quarterback this last season for the Highlanders football team, a Highlanders team that number 2 seed in the Quad A, falling in the second round to University. As shot is good by Sams. He has 18. course, Morgantown ended up winning the state championship in Quad A, defeating Martinsburg in the state championship game. Tanaka into the hands of Wilson on the left elbow. He finds Owens Kennedy at the block. Layup good for Owens Kennedy. It's now 60-31, and John, we might see the magic number that we saw earlier this week in terms of Marshall women's basketball, but I don't think we might have the same crowd reaction. That shot's no good. For those that don't know, that means Marshall scored 67 points, Education Day, and the fans went absolutely crazy over it. I still don't get the joke, but Brogan Sands, pull up, shot, rolls in and out, and Braden Smith with the putback. He's got 5. I'm saying it could happen, John.
It could. Braden Smith doing a good job of mimicking what Huntington's been doing. Having a guy ready under the basket to put up the rebound. Smith there grabbed it and helped St. Albans get some more points in this game.
And it'll be a timeout, Huntington. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep you here. 4:35 to go in quarter number 4. Huntington High 60, St. Albans 33. When you're calling a timeout this late, up this much, you're wondering, if you're Huntington High, when do you let off the gas and put in the reserves? Because you still have most of your starters on the floor. At what point do you put the reserves in the game?
Well, there's still a little bit over half the time left in this quarter. By no means am I going to say that 27 points is impossible. I mean, that's certainly, if you have the right squad to really get into this, I'm sure it can be done. So I think maybe you put your starters in a little longer, maybe get that lead to about 30, and then from there you might be starting to feel a little more.
Well, John, it looks like they kind of have let off the gas, except for Dalton and Daneka, but...
well, you got to keep some of the guys out there.
Yeah.
Once you hit 30, yes.
Braxton Mount, Rowan Stewart, and Kennedy in the game now for Huntington. Actually, now we have one more substitution. It'll be Xavier Turner, the junior, as he checks in for Owens Kennedy. Dalton brings the ball up the floor. Dalton guarded closely by Sams. Dalton skips over to Daneka. He pops a 3. Got it! Wow. Daneka has 10.
Wow, and we really saw the range come to life on that one. This time, he shot it deep and made it this time.
Brogan Sams is double team. He has to dump it over to Samples. Samples to Braden Smith. Back to Hall. He has to force a 3. He got it. Hall has 8.
Showing some range of their St. Albans showing some range of their own there.
Stewart back at the top. Dalton 3. Money for Dalton. He's got 10. Is 66-36 Highlanders. Largest lead of the game at 30. And Hall trying to drive all the way, but it's going to be a reach-in foul called on Dalton. Dalton, that'll be a second foul as Hermansdorfer checks in the game.
Well, both teams certainly favoring the outside here as we get closer to the end of this contest. Both sides being very quick, trying to get the points up as fast as they can and the most points they can. The 3-ball was excellent there from both sides.
Now into the hands of Hall. Hall bounce pass. Brogan Sams 3. Left it short. But Hall with the rebound has to pull up a shot, and it's good. Just beyond 15 feet for Zay Hall. Zay Hall letting it fly here in the fourth quarter. As he stepped out of bounds. The St. Albans ball as Nate Hanna checks in the game for Huntington High as he checks in for Ethan Dalton. Highlanders to start the season at 1-0. Dragons will fall to 0-2 and will have to return home to Nitro 2 days before Christmas to try to pick up its first win of the year. Zay Hall gets it into the hands of Brogan Sands. Hall on the near corner nearly lost his dribble. Stewart at the near steal attempt. Hall then lost the ball. It goes out of bounds. Huntington High ball as the ball nearly running into cameraman from WSAZ, Jim Tracy. Daneka at the top to Hanna. Hanna finds his man, Rowan Stewart. Less than 3 minutes to go, and foul called against the Highlanders. And it'll be called against Braxton Mount. So basically like more of a legal screen. Yeah, it's a legal screen because he was moving his shoulders, and Coach John said, hey, you can't be dipping your shoulders one way or another. You got to be still when you set that screen. And Brogan Sands with a shot through contact and gets it to fall. He has 20 for the Red Dragons after scoring 31 in the previous game against the Big Reds of Parkersburg.
Well, if there's one thing I've noticed in this game and the JV game we watched before this one is that Coach has done a really good job of keeping these squads, the JV and the varsity squad, as playing till the very end and not giving up in the contest. You play until that buzzer beats. You don't just stop because the deficit is high. So that's something that I would praise Alan Osborne for, is the fact that St. Albans hasn't seemed to let up here in the late minutes of this game.
Bounce pass to Hall, gets it down low to Smith. Reverse layup is good, and he's got 7. As the junior has 7 points. It's 66-42, 2 minutes to go. Lapsley with the ball as Huntington High more or less just try to run some clock here. Lapsley goes all the way, too much power before nearly being rebounded by Mount. Then Daneka has it. Stewart trying to crash all the way, no good. Bounces off a bunch of players as Stewart having to try to save it, and then St. Albans player tries to save it. But they're going to give the ball to Huntington. Actually, the ball is St. Albans. Actually, that's going to be Huntington ball. It usually says St. Albans, but it's like, yeah, it's going to be Huntington. So, quick correction. Stewart on the right wing. Stewart has yet to score in this contest. Here's the 3 from Turner. Short. Rebounded by Smith. Hall. Crossing his way. He's inside the paint. Pull-up shot. Got it. Hall has 12. And St. Albans just trying to end this game on a positive note before heading up to its matchup against rival Nitro. Lapsley on the left side. Lapsley. Bounce pass to Daneka. Back to Lapsley. Lapsley guarded close by Hall. He kicks back up to Daneka. There's a minute to go in this one. Stewart back up to the top. Now reverses it. Lapsley, pull-up shot from the paint. Rolls in and out before, actually he gets on rebound and tries to put it back up. Is fouled on the way up. So great effort that time by Lapsley, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. And Johnny, have a big smile on your face. Yes, I know exactly why you have the smile on your face.
That wasn't necessarily a smile, but...
As Smith fouls out of the game, I know exactly why you have the smile on your face now. I know exactly why. It took me a minute there. All right, so Lapsley with the free throw chance. And it's 67 points for the Huntington Highlanders. And, well, look around. Nobody's doing it. We've been saved, John.
There was some over there. It happened a little bit.
Not as crazy as what we thought it'd be, but this is a second free throw. When will that trend just end? I don't even get it. Lapsley, 3. He got it. He now has 20. I don't even know what the trend means. Something from TikTok, I guess, or some rap song. I don't know.
Well, moving forward, Lapsley really did a good job of breaking away. Once again there, just so lethal beyond at the 3.
As Sam hits a 3 ball. He has 23. 20 seconds to go. It's 70-47. Lapsley lobs it down low to Mounts. Puts up blocked by Smith. Rebounded by Brogan Sands. 8 seconds. 5 seconds. Brogan Sands tries to go all the way and does. And he has 25. And that will lead us to our final score as Huntington High earns its first win of the year. Takes down St. Albans 70-49. Red Dragons fall to 0-2. We'll step aside and when we come back. John and I will break down this game. You're watching Kindred Digital Sports Network.
Cabell County Schools has a zero-tolerance policy for bullying, harassment, and intimidation. We're excited to provide the Stop It mobile app for our students. Stop It has 2 powerful features. Students may report incidents or talk directly to school officials. Cabell County students have the power to end harmful and inappropriate online or physical bullying. You can download the app from Apple or Google Play. Together, we can create a safer, kinder school community.
Enjoy all the big games with a delicious and fresh party tray from your local food fair. Score big with a meat and cheese or veggie tray. Get a first down with a chicken salad croissant tray. Or bring home the win with a variety of wing trays. Food fair, conveniently fresh.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Planning for a funeral is never easy, and selecting the right mortuary can be important. Family owned and operated for over 6 decades, our family has helped other families going through the most difficult time. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory can help you plan arrangements today or offer a pre-need funeral plan in line with your intimate wishes. And now, we provide Huntington's only on-site crematory. Call us for a free consultation. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory, serving the tri-state for over 60 years.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
The final score from the mountaintop. Huntington High takes down St. Albans 70-49. I'm Ben Harrison alongside me, John Bogus, and welcome to the postgame show. Well, at halftime, let's give you a quick summary of how we got to this point. In the first quarter, Huntington High took a commanding 21-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. St. Albans showed a little bit of life halfway through the second quarter, cutting the deficit to 10. For Huntington High, was able to finish the first half with a 37-21 lead. Then the third quarter, Huntington High expanded it to 53-29, holding the Red Dragons to just 8 points to make then the final 70-49. As this was just a game that Huntington High dominated from beginning to end.
Yeah, they came out strong, and the offense and the defense was present early. St. Albans put up a good game as well, as they had opportunities, they put up the opportunities, but Huntington High, just their defense and their ability to break away, the size advantage, to grab the rebound, it's just all around you can compliment Huntington in a lot of places. And I applaud St. Albans for their tough effort. I could definitely tell those young men were giving it as much as they could to compete in this game, and I think Alan Osborne has a good squad to work with moving forward.
Yeah, I feel like he does have a great squad moving forward. Red Dragons will return home on Tuesday against Nitro before going on a 3-game road stretch against Morgantown, Preston High School, and George Washington before returning home on January 9th against Cabell Midland. Huntington High will play 3 games in a span of 4 days at the Carolina Invitational starting on the 27th. And then the 29th and the 30th. And then on the 3rd, we'll be on the road against Woodrow Wilson, the Flying Eagles, before returning home on January 6th against the Parkersburg South Patriots. As well, John, we've reached that point in the game. Who was your player of the game here tonight?
Look, I could give player of the game to 3 people on Huntington's squad for sure. So I want to give a shout-out to Max Belrin for being an excellent rebounder, and a shout-out to Isaiah Lapsley for being an excellent shooter. But at the end of the day, Tavion Wilson he was present all over the court in multiple aspects. He was rebounding. He was shooting inside. He was shooting outside. He was breaking away. He was dunking. He even got some free throws. Tavion Wilson did it all today. He's an all-around athlete, and it shows. He's an all-around athlete in other sports too. I mean, he's going on to Clemson to play football, but he's still got a love for the game of basketball, so he's here today, and it continues to show the athlete that he is, no matter what the sport the sport that he is playing is.
Tavion Wilson finished the game with 18. A lot of people think. First, I'd like to thank our wonderful producer. Then I'd like to thank Kindred Communications and West Virginia Video Productions, as well as St. Albans High School and Huntington High School for making this broadcast possible. And John, I'd like to thank you for joining alongside me here tonight.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. I do want to say St. Albans is my alma mater. That is where I graduated. And this is the first time I've ever called high school basketball. So it was a pleasure to be here today for a team that means so much to me. And Huntington, a very fun team. I'm excited for the other games that we get to call that Huntington is going to play. So this is a great game. I was happy to be here. I'm happy to do it alongside someone I consider a good friend.
So once again, the final score, Huntington takes down St. Albans 70-49. Highlanders 1-0. The Red Dragons fall to 0-2. For John Bogus, I'm Ben Anderson saying good night as you've been